really quickly in a way I'd understand in kindergarten. I'd know it was the truth, and I'd be willing to die by my side. Why are women in the world unworthy of God and me, unworthy of a moral path in the future? It has to do with complicity with Babylon's system. Babylon was an empire, okay? The Romans were the main kind of people they transformed into, in terms of culturally and continuing their direction, okay? Then there was colonialism, which comes after the Romans conquered Europe and impressed upon them their ways, orgies, bloodbaths, trickery, lying, fake religion, what have you. Then there was neo-colonialism, what we have today. There is neo-colonialism, okay? And it's the same, it's what happens when the rich and the governing class round up all the attractive women and they become whores, right? Where we get the high heels, the butchers, and the prostitutes of Rome, right? These were whores that married the governing class. Then they didn't want people to slut shame them, so they had a bunch of orgies, so everyone and servants, they're all being whored around. And from there, they bragged about what kind of qualities they had. That's what these statues were about. Say, look at our tits, look at the shape of our body, etc. Okay, not their moral worth. This is what it means in Babylonian culture that became Western culture, that dominates every culture that's allowed today. That is the expected output, it's the obvious output. When we look at government meant meaning mind. Okay, before psychology, psychiatry, sociology, therapy, and all this stuff, psychotherapy, was governments trying to study people, control people, and that just evolved into that, and they refined their techniques, and people were bred to be too stupid to overcome, and I'm the last righteous person for a laundry list of reasons. Okay, so the reproduction is despicable. So they're not morally, spiritually, romantically, and mentally good enough for me, not in terms of maturity or any of the martial art principles, universal principles, pinpointed universal principles, pinpointed universal morality, such as focus, determination, discipline, okay, love, having heart, having courage, and moral will, and etc., etc. Right? All these martial art principles that are life principles as well. Psalm 5:5: the arrogant cannot stand in your presence. You hate all who do wrong. So here we are, Psalms of David saying God hates all who does wrong. Jesus, the root and offspring of David. In Revelations, he destroys the people. So whether they're talking about Christianity or universal moral principles in general, it all lines up. Ver in virtue means man. Beta in the Urban Dictionary is someone who didn't man up. He bitches up instead. Okay, and in Kings, when David dies, he says, be a man to David, to Solomon, and obey God. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. Women chose guys who are beta motherfuckers who bitch up instead of being morally precise, and they're the evolution of prostitutes and so on and so forth. And I'm not trying to offend, I'm just trying to inform. This is why it is. This is why they should agree to be servants of mine, because they're not worthy mates. Okay, they're not worthy romantic partners. They should just come and obey. Okay, that covers all the problems that we have, the change of form, the so on and so forth, and fuming my clothes and the air and all this. Instead of them going, oh my gosh, I can't do that like a bitch. They should come ready in a disciplined state of mind to obey and ready to be trained to be a sufficient helper.